Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple One and welcome to Boots on the Ground. Let's get right into it. If you got anything you could add to the conversation, please send it to Southern Purple One, Southern Purple just the number one at yahoo.com. Our small business of the day is a company called frozenright.com. And they said they've been faithfully watching this channel for over 10 years. So thank you for your support. They make freeze-dried accessories for the Harvest Right. They also said they have also products for dehydrating. And they're willing to give any viewer a discount. It would be SP1, 15% off. I will put that exactly in the link and give you a link to it so you can check them out. But they make products to make your life easier if you have a freeze dryer with the Harvest Right brand. This is from Alabama, Northwest Alabama. And they are very close to, I guess, Mississippi. And there's an RV plant close by in their town. And it's announced layoffs, so about 30% of the workforce. I don't have any more details. I'll look into getting some more details for you. This person lives in Colorado. I think it's Greeley, Colorado. And we took our 3-year-old to her primary care physician because she had a terrible cough and was having difficulty breathing. She tested positive for RSV immediately, and we were informed that they had no medication available for the virus because they had to save any they had for the premature babies. The next day she had gotten worse, so we took her to the ER. We were fortunate to get her in quickly, but the hospital was completely filled. There was no rooms available. People were sitting in the chairs in the hallway waiting for rooms to open up. There was only one doctor on shift that was covering the whole ER, so it took 14 hours before we saw a doctor. He informed us there was no rooms available at the hospital because the RSV is overwhelming all the local hospitals. They decided that our daughter needed to be admitted, but due to the lack of availability, she was admitted to an ER room. They did not have children's bed in any of the hospital, so my mother-in-law had to bring in a pack and play for her to sleep in. We ended up staying 2 nights. We spent our Thanksgiving at the hospital, but we had no complaints because it could have been a lot worse. We are grateful for the care that our daughter received, especially considering the circumstances. Times like these are humbling. Have patience with the hospital and staff because more than likely they're understaffed and are short on supplies and medication. It is so important that we prepare and encourage one another for these difficult times ahead. But even more important, we must remember that this is all of God's plan. The Bible says, as we know, that for those who love God, all things work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose. It is never too late to start prepping. If you buy something prep related every time you go to the grocery store, you will be amazed how quickly it will add up. God bless you all. It is unbelievable that we are in America. We are having shortages of hospital beds, of hospital care workers, of medication. If you would have said this 5 years ago to any Americans, they would have laughed at you. We have come down terribly in the last few years. This is Costco in Tustin, California. No organic eggs or A2 milk. A2 milk. I have no idea what A2, but it must be a brand. I'm getting a lot of reports of products just being out, and that just contributes more to this is America. We've grew up with the ability to go anytime. We used to go 24 hours a day to Walmarts and other stores. Now they've cut that back because they don't have workers, and we could get whatever we wanted. Times are changing. I live in Fresno, California. As you've heard, California has a homeless crisis. We have an amazing Christian rescue mission for the homeless that provides every service one can imagine, even to truly homeless families. And they gave a link. It's fresnomission.org. The director has appealed to people not to, I guess, give money to the homeless that stand on the street corners or approach people in parking lots. He states the majority of these people are users of drugs and alcohol and choose a lifestyle they are living. Yes, there are a minority that are mentally ill, but the majority are there by choice. Every night, the shelter has plenty of free beds that are empty. Why? The drug users don't want to comply with the simple rule of not using drugs or alcohol while in the facility or comply with other behavioral safety guidelines. Or they don't want to listen to a very short presentation of the gospel before every free hot meal. If a drug user has a desire for help, they can provide themselves access to detox, long-term shelter, even job training and placement. The director said that when well-meaning people give money to these people on the street, they're enabling them to continue their destructive behavior. He suggests that we truly help by giving money to shelters, food banks, or other charities. This was Anchorage, Alaska. This was Thanksgiving night. The electric went out at midnight. It was fixed at 5 a.m. There was a vehicle that crashed into a transformer. At first, it was hard for me to find any kind of light when the power went out. Our phone stayed in the living room on a charger. I found a candle, but no lighter right away. I forgot I had a headlamp in the drawer in the kitchen. Thankful we had backup battery to run our CPAP machine if needed. So please tell your listeners, make sure they have a big enough battery backup to last hours to run their alarm system or their internet, as well as CPAP machines. Security camera had a backup battery just for that. So basically, keep your flashlights, keep everything where you can find it, because if the power goes off, you don't want to kill yourself trying to find some light source. So you might want to have it in numerous places in your house. This is from Nevada County. An older gal I met a while back who lives in her vehicle was very excited a couple months back as she had received a Section 8 voucher for an apartment. Well, I just heard from her yesterday, and she said no one will accept it, and it's about to expire, and she won't be able to get another one. This was per the county. She told me she met some immigrant lady at the laundromat who received free travel from Texas and got a free house. She got a free vehicle, cash, food stamps, and free medical. This is disgraceful and shameful. What are they doing to American people? Is it intentional that the powers want to make U.S., Canada, and Mexico one united country at the destruction of our nation, ruining our economy, culture, and bringing in dangerous drugs? What about the immigrants that worked hard for little pay to be here that came across legally? What about our vets? It is disgusting what is going on. It is heartbreaking when they're bringing in not hundreds of thousands, but millions of people, when we already have millions of people in the United States that are suffering terribly, that are legally here. It does make people resent people coming across the border. There needs to be a fix to this problem. Just watch your Boots on the Ground segment, in which one of your viewers reported not receiving their tax return or not hearing from the IRS. I had that thought too, that my political affiliation had something to do with it, with not receiving a tax refund. Not sure if that was the case. I had electronically filed on March 5th and finally received my refund on September 28th. IRS itself was not any help. After June of this year, it was impossible to reach them, as I always get a message stating to call back another day. I resolved it by contacting our senator that is designated as an IRS advocate. It did take a few months, but did get it resolved. The issue was that the IRS stated that they had not received the 1095 proof of insurance from my employer. They admitted to having this issue with multiple taxpayers. Also, given this was a problem with their system, they would have to, that they would pay interest, but they didn't. That did not happen. So keep fighting. If you got a tax refund out there, get your money as soon as possible. I know you need it. Plus, it'd be good to have that money. Just wondering if everyone else noticed an increase in commercials for preparedness. We are in Minnesota, and while watching our hockey game today, I noticed about 1 out of every 3 commercial was about being prepared. I took this screenshot. But the commercials talk about having a plan, building a kit, and getting involved. Almost if FEMA folks are hinting that something is coming. This person said, no food shortage to report. However, this is a retirement town, Wichita Falls, Texas. Most here are on a fixed income. While the food here is killing people on the prices, I have seen more people buy the cheapest things possible. Seems that only people who can buy decent food gets assistance from the government. The rest of us who pay taxes can barely buy milk and eggs. This is getting back to some resentment. Government giving somebody something. It is not good for society to have this happening to us. This is basically hospital beds in the hospital in Tacoma, Washington are wearing down and developing cracks, causing blood and other fluid to seep into the mattress. Instead of replacing the mattresses, the hospital attempts to seal the cracks, and the fluid is so much that it is now seeping out of the mattress if you're laying on a wet sponge. New hospital beds are on back order. It is atrocious that dirty, unsanitary hospital beds are now being accepted by hospitals as the norm in this country, and people need to be warned of this immediately. I actually saw the video that a local news channel did on it, and it was thoroughly disgusting. They would take a clean paper towel and push onto the mattress, and blood would come out. Atrocious. I don't know how widespread this is, but it just leans to our medical system is collapsing. Today, we needed chicken feed. We live on a small farm in northwest Wisconsin and have a variety of different animals. This year, we sold 20 Thanksgiving turkeys for the first time. We also sell eggs and process our own meat. Among other things, my husband went to go pick up some chicken feed, and when he got home, he asked me how much eggs cost in the store. I told him the last time I saw it was about $3.25 per dozen. In 2019, chicken feed cost 15 cents per pound. Today, it is 30 cents per pound. It doesn't sound like a big increase, but when you buy 500 pounds at a time, it magnifies quickly. I think we can expect egg prices to continue to go up. Last summer, when I told him we needed to sell our eggs for $3 instead of $2, he really stressed and fussed about it. Now we're cheaper than the grocery store. Yes, you need to make sure you cover your costs. So you can stay viable as a small business, or at least helping people out. If you just keep accepting the loss, eventually you'll have to stop producing eggs. If you stop producing eggs, it is going to affect. If every small farmer like you or me does that, and I supply a few people, if we just stop, it does cause more problems on the logistical problem. So raise your prices, and if you sell a good product, people will buy it. We went to a local store today to purchase a few items. My husband was checking out with his items, and an elderly lady was in another checkout next to him. She had items she needed, such as gloves and a furnace filter. She had money but was writing a check. The cashier told her she could not accept the check due to counterfeit checks being written. The manager made a decision not to accept the check. My husband worked retail, and he said the store would just have to take that loss. I guess if it was a bad check. After seeing the items were needed, he paid for it with his card. He did something good today. He told her, "Merry Christmas, young lady," and she almost cried. He and I left immediately. What are people going to do? Question mark. Not everyone is into the digital banking or the debit card. The elderly don't trust cards and are afraid of loss and theft, and they are on low Social Security banks. Then Social Security may not issue them a card. So this is a problem. It's more of a push to push us into a digital currency. People are not going to accept checks. They're not going to accept cash. Before you know it, it will all be digital. This is from Eastern Long Island. Regular unleaded gas has dropped a few cents, so that's good the past week. But I just went to Walmart, and a 4-pack of Bumblebee chunk light tuna shot up from about $4 to $5. A 30-ounce jar of Hellmann's mayonnaise went from $4.48 to $5.48, a dollar increase. Those are some serious jumps. This is from Northeast Oklahoma. I went to Walmart at 6:30 a.m. to get some items we needed, and this, I guess, was Black Friday. And the store was so empty. We did our grocery shopping. The officer at the door told us only about 40 people were waiting when they opened. You couldn't even tell the store was set up for Black Friday. This is from, I usually try to avoid the chaos of early morning Black Friday shopping. Yesterday around 5 p.m., I assumed that the rush would be over, and I ventured out. I was stunned to find that most of the Black Friday deals were still in the aisles on the pallets. Usually all the deals are gone by this time. I could not believe my eyes. Tons of people were just walking past all of these doorbuster items and not buying them. Out of absolute curiosity, I went to another Walmart in our town. Same thing. I'm guessing that people just do not have the money to shop this year. This is from Michigan. And I just want to give people a great website with hundreds of remedies for ailments. And this is earthclinic.com, earthclinic.com, and they have lots of tips and remedies that you can use. So check them out, earthclinic.com. This person said, I went out Black Friday shopping with my daughter. It's been our tradition for years. Sales were decent. Nothing we were looking for, like no high-tech electronics or high-end items were on our list. Crowds not as big as some years, but definitely lots of people out. Everyone from store clerks to other customers were in a good mood and pleasant. People were definitely buying. So this was in Central Virginia. This person wrote, I am one of many volunteers at the Senior Center of Rainier, Washington. We are blessed with many caring volunteers. We're open for lunch Monday and Wednesday from 10 to 2. Lunch costs our members $5 for a complete homemade meal with beverage, soup, salad, main meal, and dessert. $7 for non-members. We served our turkey dinner on Wednesday. No extra charge. We were open Thursday and served the leftovers for free. Cooking started days before. We cooked almost hundreds of pounds of turkey. Our seniors heard that there was going to be a shortage of turkey, so they started a turkey drive. By the time Thanksgiving rolled around, we had 10 big turkeys donated. We now have enough turkey for their Christmas meal. The Rainier High School FFA has a community garden. They grow organic produce and donate over 35,000 pounds of produce to our Rainier Emergency Food Center. This year, they also grew pumpkins for the Senior Center, and the FFA made 50 pumpkin pies so that all the families that came in for lunch Wednesday could take a fresh baked pumpkin pie for Thursday. Our city is small. We don't have a tavern or streetlights. We have 3 churches, 2 active, and 1 restored historical church. Our greatest asset is our people. We live in a loving and caring rural community. That is great news. So if you live in a big city and you think everyone's out to get you, you might not be wrong in a big city, but there are places in this country that people still care about each other. You might need to move. If you can financially move, get out of there. Find a place where people love each other and want to help each other. We went to a grocery outlet store in Yelman, Washington this afternoon. I picked up a tomato but couldn't find any heads of lettuce. The produce scale came out with fresh produce, so we asked her if she had any lettuce. She said no. The grower is charging $4.99 per head, so I can't order it. They couldn't sell it for the price the distributor was charging. We bought a bag of green salad mix to use for our BLTs. The Safeway across the street is charging $4.99 for a head of lettuce. People at our senior center was complaining about the price. Now I understand that Safeway is selling it at cost. Never thought I'd see the day when iceberg lettuce was a luxury. Hello, I work at a natural and organic grocery store in Chicago area, and our store is very understaffed and morale is sinking with that staff shortage. So we cannot bake the 3 kinds of bread that I guess we usually do because we only have a couple people, one to work the floor. I felt bad for the guy because he had to stock and then help customers when putting their Christmas tree on their car. So I stayed an hour after my shift to help with those customers. This kid, the kid that was working the floor, has a positive attitude no matter how busy or short staffed we are. So my hat's off to this person. I don't know who he is, but a positive attitude, and they called him a kid, so I expect him to be younger. There are still great kids out there. I received a notification that my wife's healthcare insurance monthly premium effective January 1st will increase from $538 to $712, a monthly increase of 32.5%. There has been no change to her otherwise good health, although I think my blood pressure went up when I saw the notification letter. We've been fortunate that our budget, we can move money from one column to another column to cover added monthly expenses. But it's getting to the point where this is no longer feasible and budget items are going to have to be eliminated. And this is from Washington State. And to finish it off, I'm a dentist, and I can address the reason why some of the viewers are saying they are not getting the so-called free toothbrush and toothpaste at their visit. These are not free items. The dentist's office has to purchase these to give the patients at their cleaning. The price of these items have skyrocketed in the past few months, in some cases 150%, and dentists are not able to provide these easily as they used to. Inflation has hit the dental profession in a mighty way this past year, and patients are going to start to see it very soon. The toothbrush thing is just tip of the iceberg, unfortunately. So there you go, some boots on the ground. Go out and make it a great day. Be positive, and if you can love someone, love them. Thanks for watching.